We're asked to find the derivative of this function, which is already a derivative, but we did that in another problem, I believe. The first thing I do is identify the numerator and the denominator. So, and I make each one of those a function. So the numerator is x squared plus 2x minus 4, which is the numerator here, and then the denominator function is x squared plus 2x plus 1, which is the denominator here. The next thing I do is I get the derivative of the numerator and then the derivative of the denominator. So 2 times the understood 1 makes it 2x, and then instead of squared it goes down 1 to just x. So 2x squared, or sorry, 2x. And then for this one there's an understood 1 times 2, and so it's 2x. Actually, it's just 2 because this is to the first power and it goes down to the 0 power, which in other words means it just goes away. And for a constant, the derivative is just 0, so that goes away. So it's 2x plus 2 is the derivative. Same principles apply here. 2 times the understood 1 makes it 2x, and instead of to the second power, it just goes down to the first power. 2x. And then for this one there's an understood 1 times 2 makes it 2, and instead of being x to the first power it goes down to x to the 0 power, which means technically it means that x to the 0 power is 1 and 2 times 1 is 2, but you might think of it as just going away. And then the derivative of a constant 0, so it's 2x plus 2. Okay, so now we're going to apply the quotient rule, which means the numerator of our derivative is going to be this times this minus this times this. And it's always minus for quotient rule. The way I remember it is I'm dealing with the fraction bar, which looks like a big minus sign. So I've got my denominator function times the derivative of my numerator function minus my numerator function times the derivative of my denominator function. I don't know if you can see that very well. This is supposed to be blue and green, and then the derivatives are outlined blue and green. And then for the quotient rule, my original denominator gets squared. So in the next step, I put this binomial in front of the trinomial because it makes it easier to distribute it, in my opinion. And I do the same thing with this binomial in front of this trinomial. So I put 2x plus 2 in the front, and then